Here we go. Okay, guys, good evening, YouTube. Good evening. Welcome to episode 26 of the FPL Family. Episode 26. Apologies for being a couple of minutes late. I was actually really enjoying reading what the guys were saying in the live chat. I was getting into the live chat, suddenly realising, hold on, it's my stream. I actually need to hit the button and actually do something rather than just hang around and lurk in the chat as I tend to do with Andy and with the Wildcats and all that. So actually, we've got to get on with it. Yeah, so guys,
we are kind of needing to start our own stream.
We do need
it's quite
important that we actually get on with it. Yes, guys. So sorry about that.
Well, we never really get on with it, do we? But at least we really start it.
You know what I mean. But there's loads of you guys already in the live chat talking about this game week, and oh my god, what a game week!
Seriously,
what a difficult game week. I mean, how are you feeling about it? It was tough, wasn't it? It's tough.
In all honesty, I'm not entirely sure what's happened. Like, I just keep looking at these scores, going,
it's bad.
Are you joking? Like, I took our little boy to a birthday party at 3 o'clock.
And they were all talking FPL.
They were. Actually, I did have a conversation with one of the mummies about how we do the FPL show.
She didn't see you on the show.
The point.
And you were like, oh yeah, I'm on the show, whatever.
Yeah, well, it's become a bit of a thing in the playground now because one of them saw it on my Facebook, and now since then it's now like, so what is this you do? So now, anyway.
Whatever you do, don't tell the boys from who got the assist. I get so much on Twitter about being a celeb with those boys. It's untrue.
Well, that's not what the point of this conversation was. The point of this conversation is that I'd gone to a birthday party with our little one. And so, of course, I'm like at a party, I'm not really paying attention. And I got my phone out at like 4:45. Like 4:45.
Yeah.
I thought, I'll check the half-time score.
Yeah. What, in Wolves Huddersfield?
And I was like...
Yeah, what the hell happened in Wolves Huddersfield? Yeah, exactly. What the hell happened?
What has happened?
Suddenly we've got an Aaron Moy bandwagon forming for some reason. I mean,
Everyone
what the hell?
get on him.
What the hell? I mean, I just don't... That blew me away, that result. I mean, there's people doubling and trebling on Wolves because Huddersfield are that bad and they somehow get 2-0 out of us. Guys, this game week... Tell us what you think in the live chat. We're going to come and speak to you guys in a minute and see how you're getting on, because I had a bad week. I think you had an average to bad week, didn't you? Was it okay?
Well, it's the first time, potentially the first time all season where I've actually captained the person that's got the highest number of points in my team. So that's
okay. That's something.
Okay.
That's something. I've now back-to-back captain fails. I've captained Richarlison this week. Didn't work out. So listen, guys, we're going to cover it all. But this is going to be, I don't know. We need to pump some positivity into the stream, because right now I am down in the FPL dumps, guys. I am down in the... I don't think I'm wooden spoon territory, because I have spoken to Michelle in the last day or so.
And Josh.
And Josh. There's some good candidates, guys, with a wooden spoon. There's some great scores going on.
Proper in-laws down in the dumps.
Some absolute scores going on. So I think we're safe from that. Something fell over. What was that?
I
don't know. Who knows? So guys, I've noticed we're a bit dark. Look at this. We should be wearing some lighter shirts or something. I don't know. We're feeling a bit dark.
I had grand plans of putting my Spurs shirt back on, but we've been out at birthday parties and various other things today, and I literally haven't had time to go and put it back on.
Well, the guys on Twitter actually were saying, how dare you, Sam? How dare you? These are the Chelsea fans on Twitter. They're saying, how dare you? They put money. All these guys, the Chelsea fans, Richard, Carl Sagstead, all these guys, they contributed to that shirt, and you've taken the lucky shirt that they've bought for you and used it against their team. How dare you, Sam? They're saying.
Well, if your team had turned up, it wouldn't have been an issue.
Oh, what? They were bad, weren't they? Spurs were very good, but Chelsea were not good at all.
Sarri, I think, said it completely right, didn't he? Bad attitude, bad performance.
To be fair to him, he comes straight out. Just like, we were bad. He
took it for granted. He basically said, we took it for granted. We expected to play... teams that we could beat every week, and we've come up against a decent one.
Absolutely. Well, I think Ali did, in particular, a great job on Jorginho, which we'll come to a bit later on when we review that game. In fact, we're going to do that game first, I think.
Woohoo!
First things first, we've got polls to talk about, guys. We're going to obviously go through the fixtures. We're going to talk about our teams. We've also got to launch the promotion, the Christmas present promotion that we're organising. So for you guys that are either new to the streams or weren't here last time, we are offering to you guys, our YouTube subscribers, a trip to Wembley, a stadium tour to Wembley. Now, this isn't with you and I, so don't get too worried. This is a actual proper organised... That would be a nightmare, wouldn't it? Yeah. We'd take you basically to Wembley Park Tube and go, there it is, and then walk away. No, this is a proper stadium tour.
With somebody who actually knows what they're talking about.
With someone that knows what they're talking about from
Wembley.
from Wembley, but it's a Red Letter Days thing. So if you guys know about Red Letter Days, this is a company that offers tours as gifts, right? And there'll be somebody properly from Wembley that takes the trophy room. You can sit in the manager's seats. I don't know if it's walking on the pitch. Might even be down on pitch side. I don't know, but it's very good. It's very, very good.
On a day of your choosing between now and September.
Yeah, I think it expires like September, so I've got plenty of time to go into it.
So yeah, you can choose when suits you.
Absolutely. And if you look in the description, guys, for this video, the mini league code is there. That is where the code is.
It's there.
It is there. It is live.
Oh, I forgot to get out of a league.
Are you not in it yet?
Well, no, because I forgot to get out of a league. So I've got to get out of a league.
Yeah, you've got to do that.
I'll do it after the stream.
So, guys, we're going to do the hellos, we're going to do the polls, we're going to do all that sort of stuff. But I wanted to first and foremost get this out there. So, the mini league for game weeks 14 to 18 for the hashtag FPL Family Christmas present is now live. Currently, unless one of you is really, really on the ball, I'm the only one in there. So come join me. You're going to join me once you're out of one of your other leagues. And the mini league code
for PVA.
Get out of PVA's league. That's a complete waste of time. But the mini league code is 69849-128-4803. Really rolls off the tongue, that doesn't it? Really
that
rolls
is
off
the longest number I've ever seen.
Well, it's because they've got so many mini leagues already open, right? Because we're halfway through the season. So if you guys, obviously you can't cut and paste that from your screen, but if you go to the description in the video, if you're on YouTube, if you're watching it through your phone or whatever, go into the description. The mini league code is in there, 69849-128-4803. Go cut and paste it. Go into the app. Go onto FPL, onto the FPL site. Go to join a new league, and it'll say, do you want to join a public or a private league? Say, I want to join a private league. I don't know what I'm saying.
Why are you telling
the
people
guys
this?
know this. You know this, guys. I'll just stop talking. Go to a private league, enter that code,
so you're still
and
finished
you'll be in. And I started, so I'm finished. So you've got to be, and you will be in the FPL Family Christmas Present League. Now, what does that mean? That means that between now, game week 14, so game week 14 is obviously live right now, and game week 18, which
starts
finishes...
on Friday.
It starts on Friday. And at which point, after the game week 14 deadline, guys, I'll be closing entrance to the league. So once that...
Oh, you're harsh.
Well, I'm taking this very seriously, Sam, in case you hadn't noticed. Very seriously.
I mean, I've got the right mug tonight, so I don't have to interrupt him, at least.
Well, I couldn't believe you interrupted me on the last stream by pouring tea everywhere. It's unreal.
I didn't pour it anywhere.
So after the game week 14 deadline has passed, which is on Friday, guys. It's on Friday, not Saturday. And it's a weird game on Friday, right? It's like Brighton or something. It's a weird game on Friday. But once that deadline has passed, I'm going to be closing the league. So you've got between now and next Friday to get into the Christmas Present League. And between game weeks 14... Cardiff and Wolves. Okay, well, Wolves need to improve, frankly, on today's performance. Between game weeks 14 and 18. So what have we got there? We've got 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 5 game weeks there for you guys to try and win that league. And whoever's at the top... will get a big round of applause and a lot of kudos. But the person that is top and from the UK, so the highest UK entry, will win a stadium tour for 2 around Wembley, which we can send you via email. Very, very easy, because we've got a code and we've got a voucher and all that sort of stuff. So if you're not in the UK, please take part. More than happy for you to take part and see how you get on over the next 5 weeks. There's going to be a lot of rotation. Very, very busy time for FPL. And actually really interesting time. So whoever gets top of that league can have the kudos for being... best manager to manage rotation around Christmas or something like that. We'll come up with some ridiculous title. But if you're in the UK, you have a chance of winning the stadium tour for 2 around Wembley. So there it is, mini league code 69849-128-4803. Consider the competition launched. It's open. Get in that league.
I should have a little party popper or something, you know.
So we do a little yay or something, yay, something like that. So guys, it's open. Get in there, get into that mini league, and good luck. Good luck to all of you that want to join that. This code is not going to be on Twitter, guys. So get onto the description now.
Don't bother asking me on Instagram either, because one, I won't remember it. It's far too long. I can't even remember the regulars code, let alone remembering this one as well.
Yeah. The whole point of this promo.
You can only get it here.
Yeah, the whole point of this promo was to drive people to come over to the live chat, come over to the live stream, check us out, subscribe to the channel, and then get involved with it. So not going to be on Twitter or Instagram. So don't think, oh, Lee's going to tweet it later. That's fine. He'll tweet a link. Not happening. Get the code. Cut and paste from the description and get into FPL.com and enter our Christmas present league, guys. So there it is. There it is. All right, let's say hello to a few people. We've got to do the polls as well. Why don't we do the polls? Now, I've done, because I was in a little bit of a rush tonight.
A lot of a rush.
What's happened is I've done the polls and I've not written them down in front of me. So I've got my tweet from earlier, which is only about half an hour ago, by the way. So
Yeah,
thank
because
you.
we were driving home and Lee suddenly panicked.
Yeah, I just only thought I've not done the polls tweet. So guys, thank you for you guys that have got on in the last half an hour and sent me some questions for the polls. The first one comes from Jeff. Jeff, if you're in, which I think is, I can see in the live chat. Jeff, thank you for joining. He's saying, who is the best midfield template buster over the next few weeks? Is it Ozil, Sane, Son, Ali or Sigurdsson? So get into the polls and check out Jeff's question up there. The next question is about Spurs midfielders. So who is the best Spurs midfielder from game week 15 onwards? Is it Son, Ali, Ericsson? I didn't limit it to midfielders. It's the best Spurs asset from game week 15 on. So put Kane in there as well. Ali, Ericsson, Son. I think they were the options. I think it was those guys.
Did you not put Lamella in?
I didn't put Lamella.
Did you not put Moura in?
I didn't put Moura in. No, you're absolutely right. I was in a little bit of a rush, dear.
Okay,
a little bit of a rush. Now let's see. Who else did I put in here? So I put... now there was a question about Liverpool defenders. Let's see who that's come from, actually. That's come from @Lezo95. So thank you for sending the question in. Do you go for Trent? Do you go for Robbo? Do you go for both? Or do you go for neither? So on the back of Trent Alexander-Arnold's Beckham-esque free kick at Vicarage Road at the weekend, which was a sensational goal.
I wasn't happy about that.
Do you want to go for Trent, Robbo, or both, or neither? Then I've just got a question. I think I put the Kane question in. I think I just went Kane, yes or no.
Well, we all know your views on that.
Kane, yes or no. And we feel like we ask that every week, right? But it's getting more and more important as we get towards game week 15. So particularly with the Aguero blank this week.
Well, you made your views quite clear on Thursday evening.
Listen. My views might be changing.
Well, I think they really
They
should.
might be changing. They might be changing. We'll discuss that a bit later on. And then there is another question, which, do you know what? I can't even remember, guys. Get in the top right-hand corner, click on the little eye, and there's 4 questions there for you guys to answer, and we will address them at the end of the show. So thank you for sending those questions in. Right. On the left there is our Twitter, @FPLFamily. Go check us out on Twitter, @FPLFamily. @FPLFamily on Instagram as well.
And Facebook. I've been Facebooking.
And of course Facebook. Let's say hello to a few of you guys. And there we go. We're already 18 minutes in, 208 people in, and I haven't said hello to anybody yet. So thank you guys for joining. Tom Gravgard is here. Tom, how are you doing? Jamal Rice is here. How are you doing, Jamal? Joe is here. Joe Finley Bad and moderating. Thank you, Joe. Got rid of Mane for Richarlison. Ouch. Ouch. That's going to hurt. Ryan is here. 27 points. Oof, Ryan, that's wooden spoon territory.
That is down there.
I would say that's wooden spoon territory.
We have still got a game to go, obviously, tomorrow night.
Yeah, unless you've got any Burnley or...
Well, you might have Rondon.
Or Newcastle, yeah, unless you've got Rondon knocking about. It's wooden spoon territory, I'm afraid. Carry256, how are you doing? Klacko is here. Miltos Kourakos is here. I think I said that correctly. Apologies if I didn't, Miltos. He got 70 points. That Excellent. Is a very, very good score. I
have no idea what I even got.
Very, very good score this week. Carl Sagstad, 35 points. Tough game week for Carl. Mark Nunes says 56 points. There's a real have you got Sterling or not feeling going on in the live chat right now. For those Sterling captainers, Don Von Hall is saying 57 with Sterling captain. Dom J, 67 points. Bivek is saying, had faith with Mitrovic. Nice, is Mitrovic back on the radar now? We spoke about him on the FPL show, didn't we, earlier in the week?
We certainly did.
Is he back on the radar now? Joe, still got 59 points with Sterling captain. So despite the Mane to Richarlison, still got 59 points because he's captain Sterling. So absolutely awesome. Stephen Lang, 32. Danny Norris. Danny, come on now.
91, does
Gotta
that
be
say?
winding us up here. 91 with Yedlin to play. That is an unbelievable score, Danny. Absolutely unbelievable score.
Sterling, one of the Spurs mids.
I would imagine that is Sterling captain without doubt, isn't it? Got to be. Yeah, got to be. Alex Stevens, 37. Peter Stead, 69. Aaron Chen, how are you doing? Ibrahim Plazy. So thank you guys all for joining. A lot of you in already. And I'll tell you what, if you guys are anywhere in the sort of 50s or 60s, that's a great score, isn't it?
100%.
That is a great score this game week. I wish I could boast a score with a 5 at the front of it. I must admit. So, where do you want to start with these games? There's our Twitter. Let's go to... I think that seems like a sensible place to start, doesn't it? Because, for one, you were there, so I want to get your feeling on the game and how Spurs played.
Yeah, what a bonus that was.
And, yeah, because a bit last minute, wasn't it? During the week, you got offered a ticket. You were absolutely going to go. Absolutely going to go. So, not only were you there, but what a game. What a game. I mean, Spurs were, frankly, sensational. And Chelsea were really not very good at all. So no Spurs goggles needed tonight, guys. I think we are 100% saying Spurs played very, very well indeed. And it's well timed. It's well timed because as you guys that are regulars to this, and you're all regulars to FPL, of course, you'll know that there's a big fixture swing coming for Spurs after the Arsenal game. You've got Arsenal next, which actually I don't think should hold any fear for Spurs. I really don't. Going to Arsenal, I don't think is too bad a fixture. It's tough, but I don't think it's too bad a fixture. And then from 15 onwards, throughout Christmas, throughout the time that the Christmas present league is up and running, Spurs fixtures look absolutely sensational. So give us your view from Wembley. You were there live. Tell us what you thought of it.
My unbiased view.
I don't think there's such a thing, but let's try and give us a view.
Yeah, I think we just were, as I've said for weeks and weeks now, when Eriksen and Dele play, it is so important to the way that we play as a team and the movement that we have and the speed that we get forward with.
Eriksen makes such a difference creatively, doesn't he?
Absolutely. And for me, so does Dele. And I said to the people I was sitting with before the game, it's a bit disappointing for Lucas Moura to miss out because I think he's been good, but look how much better Kane was without Moura on the pitch.
It's interesting that, wasn't it? He had a very good game, Kane. Yeah.
And that's what I've been saying for weeks and weeks, is that when Moura's playing, Kane isn't as effective as he is when we just play that standard traditional Spurs game with Dele Alli and Eriksen behind.
Carl Sagstead, by the way, has got his fingers in his ears. He's going, la 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 la. Can't
Chelsea
hear you.
fan.
Can't hear you. Chelsea fan.
I will talk about Chelsea separately.
I'm not sure he wants you to.
Okay, I won't talk about Chelsea. Sonny, I thought was really, really good. I think, so for me that there's...
Son actually could have had a hat-trick in about 35 minutes in that first half. If it weren't for Kepa, who pulled off a couple of blinders, Son played very, very well indeed.
I think for me it opens up... I mean, obviously I'm on Kane, as we all well know.
No, you're not, are you?
Yeah, I mean, it's surprising really, isn't it?
Keep that quiet, don't you?
I did keep it quiet. So for me, I'm kind of pondering on what to do with Spurs moving forward, but I think,
Got to keep Kane now, right?
Oh, Lee,
100%.
Is the Pope Catholic? Like, am I going to keep Kane? I'm pondering on what I do with Spurs in terms of game week 15 onwards. Do I want another Spurs? I think on the basis of this performance, yes, I do. But who do I want? And for me, I feel as if that Spurs midfield is a bit of a minefield in terms of rotation with Son and Moura, Lamela, Eriksen and Ali, and then obviously you've got the defensive-minded Spurs midfielders as well to consider. But I do feel like now Eriksen and Ali are both fit again, we will see them regularly starting.
Ali made a big difference. I mean, put the goal aside, it was a well-taken header, wasn't it? And ghosting in at the front post there.
But he played fantastic for regardless of the goal.
Well, he did, and I alluded to it earlier in the live stream. I thought he did an absolute job on Jorginho, right? I think Spurs and Pochettino and Ali they've figured out how to stop Chelsea. I think in the past a lot of teams have kind of stood off of Jorginho. He picks it up quite deep, receives it from Luiz or whoever it is at the back, gets his head up and pings a pass. Now, if you allow Jorginho to get his head up, there ain't many better passers of the ball in the league. We've seen that. He can pick a pass, and he's very, very important in Sarri's system, in the Sarri ball system, to doing exactly that. Get his head up, pick a pass. Now, every time he got the ball, it was Ali 90% of the time, if not it was Dyer, but one of those two, Ali in particular, he was on him as soon as he got the ball. Yeah. Now, what does that do? If you're Jorginho, you get your head down. So instead of getting your head up to pick a pass, he's got his head down thinking about, I've got to keep this ball now, I've got to retain it. So even though Ali, I don't know if he got any bonus points or anything, he did get some bonus points. So I'd imagine there was some tackles in there, I would imagine there was some blocks, because he did an absolute job on Jorginho.
And what made me really pleased with both Dele and Eriksen was Dele. So Pochettino took him off on 86 minutes, and the Spurs fans around me were going, "Oh, for goodness sake, why take him off?" And I was like, "Listen to the crowd. Like that's what Ali needed. He's had a bad time of it lately with injuries and then not being 100% since he's come back." He was amazing in that game, and he went off to absolutely rapturous round of applause. And Dele he's one of those players that's all about confidence with him, and that he really needed a performance like last night. For me, he is 100% the one I'm looking at. So
that was my point. So from an FPL perspective,
for me,
you're keeping Kane. You want to double up with the midfielder as well? You do. Yeah. Okay, all right. So who are you looking at then in particular?
So for me, it's either Eriksen or Ali, but I can't quite afford to do Eriksen without a lot of disruption to my team. Whereas with Ali, I was saying to you last night, I sort of messed up a little bit in my transfers this week because I wanted to get Duffy, but what I didn't consider is that I wanted my next transfer to be Ali, and I needed an extra 0.2, so I should have done Dunk over Duffy, but it doesn't matter, it's fine.
Okay.
I just need to get 0.2 from somewhere else to get from Felipe Anderson to Ali.
So not considering Son, then? I mean, Son is a fair bit cheaper. I actually don't know his price, but he's probably $1 million, maybe $1.5 million cheaper in that sort of bracket than Ali.
Think, for me, I feel like Son and Moura and Lamella are more at risk of rotation than Dele and Eriksen.
You think Dele and Eriksen are a bit more nailed on? Yeah, Eriksen for sure.
They're so important to the way we play, and I think Poch alluded to that yesterday in the interviews I was listening to. He was talking about, we haven't played like that for a very, very long time, and it's because of the personnel we had on the pitch.
Okay, so Kirsten Gonsalves is saying Eriksen created 9 chances with Trippier out. He's only going to continue doing that. So you're saying Ali, and I'm with you on that for goal threat, but for creativity, you can't look past Eriksen.
I said on the FPL show, I had Eriksen as one of my assets, didn't I, that I was talking about. And the reason I picked him over Ali for that purpose was based upon the fact that, Trippier's out for a few weeks, Eriksen's back on all set pieces, so that's going to make a big difference in terms of FPL points that he achieves. But for me, watching Dele, watching the amount of tackles and opportunities that he was creating, that boy is going to get bonus points left, right and centre, and if he gets a goal in there as well.
Okay. Well, listen, I think you're...
And he's cheaper.
So you're absolutely right to pick out all of those Spurs players. I mean, if I was on Kane, I don't know if I would be doubling up. I think given what we've seen from the likes of Sané and Sterling and Silva at Man City this weekend, I think I'd be more inclined to have a look there, or at least I don't think I'd be quite as set and as focused on the Spurs assets as you are. But I can see why you are. And we'll come to the Man City assets in a bit.
And I still plan to have a Man City asset as well from next week.
Okay, all right. So we'll talk about your potential transfer strategy in a bit more detail. Let's have a quick word on Chelsea then, and let's make it quick because the guys on here, Richard and Carl and all you guys, don't want to really talk about this. And as a Chelsea fan, if I was a Chelsea fan, I think I can understand that. Let's not talk about how bad Morata is right now and how many times he gets caught offside. Let's have a quick word on Hazard. I mean, didn't look at his influential best in the game. Come off with a bit of a knock, or maybe I think carried on actually with a bit of a knock because Chelsea had used all their subs. I think he came out on Twitter and said that he himself said it's not too bad. I should be back reasonably soon. He made a comment like something like I twisted my ankle a little bit and I'm kind of used to it, so I just will shake it off. Which I don't know whether that means he's got some sort of weird underlying recurring injury or whether he just feels like he gets little knocks all the time rather than sort of a big injury.
I think for me, from a Chelsea point of view, they weren't great. But when I was driving home from Wembley yesterday, there was an interview on TalkSport with Sarri, and he basically said, quite rightly, we haven't played a big club that's come at us in the way that Spurs did, and we just didn't know what to do with them. We just didn't know what we were doing. The attitude wasn't right. They panicked. And that is exactly what happened watching it. It was like Chelsea just were like rabbits in a headlight yesterday. Now, I obviously have Hazard and Alonso, and I played them both yesterday. I'm not panicking about either of them. Alonso, I won't get rid of. I feel like he's a sensible option to keep because.
And the thing is, I think they're home to Fulham next, right?
Absolutely.
So I mean, Fulham showed. They've got off the mark at least under Ranieri early against Southampton, but I'm by no means thinking that they are defensively solid now. I mean, to concede 2 goals to that Southampton side, and we're going to come to that game in a bit. Southampton are pretty bad. They're pretty bad right now, and they cannot win for toffee.
So what Chris said to me yesterday at the end of the Spurs game. He was like, "How does it feel to watch your team win?" So, he's a Saints fan, isn't he?
Well, listen. So Southampton are looking pretty bad. Fulham managed to beat them. I get that, but I still fear for Fulham going to Chelsea next weekend. Yes. Now, what would be interesting, as Vinyl Richie is saying, is that did Sarri have a plan B in Serie A? Because it feels like Spurs figured Chelsea out a little bit at the weekend. They got in and around Jorginho. They managed to break wide and fast whenever Alonso in particular got up the pitch on that side, which left Luiz having to come across, which obviously created space for Kane. So have they got a plan B now? I don't know. I like you, I'm not panicking. I can see plenty of assets, both Spurs and Man City, that I would like in my midfield. I would have to sell Hazard to get them. Bonkers before Fulham at home. Absolutely bonkers to do that before Fulham at home, in my opinion.
So I'm pondering what to do this week because obviously I have got a lot of money tied up in Hazard, but I'm not going to get rid of him before Fulham. That would be ludicrous. So he'll stay for another week, and then I'll have just prior to game week 15 to decide whether it's Felipe Anderson that leaves to allow me to welcome another Spurs midfield. Well, it will
We're not
be.
going to get rid of Felipe Anderson. Their fixture list looks
fixtures are
absolutely
good.
sensational.
So
for
it's tough, isn't
tons
it?
of weeks.
So I'm going to be keeping an eye on Hazard. It goes back to that thing again, doesn't it? About you can't have everybody. I do need to get some City coverage in there. I would like some more Spurs, but I'm not panicking about my Chelsea assets.
Okay, all right. Well, let's see what you guys are saying in the live chat. Now, Steve Wynyard, thank you very much, Steve. He's sponsored on a super chat for £5.
Oh,
so thank you, Steve, for doing that. As ever, guys, the super chat is on. It is live. There's by no means a prerequisite for being here, but thank you, Steve, for doing that. Hazard has twisted his ankle, as it stated, is not serious and will be back soon, which is very vague. Yeah, it kind of sounds positive, that, doesn't it? But it is very vague. And I do remember some comment about, I get this all the time, I can't remember the exact words, guys. You guys will be able to find it on Twitter and cut and paste it in the live chat, I'm sure. But there was something about, I'm used to injuries like this. This is not a bad one. I'm used to this. And there was a general feeling from the tone of his voice. I didn't hear him, but the tone of the text, if you like, was that.
Were you in the room when he was tweeting?
I don't know, but it sort of felt like that he wasn't going to be out for a long time. So I think we need to obviously keep our eye on it, but. You'd be mad to sell him before Fulham at home.
You can't sell him
you'd be mad.
No,
I think you'd be mad.
I agree.
So listen, let's talk about some of those. You talk very much about those Spurs options in the midfield there, and I think we've all got our eyes on them for sure going forward. But we've also got our eyes on the Man City assets in the midfield as well. What did it take? 20 minutes? 25 minutes? And they were 3-0 up. I mean, City steamrolling team after team, week after week. West Ham away. Looks difficult on paper. I mean, we know West Ham aren't that defensively resolute, but
West Ham have been better. They've been a lot better lately.
Yeah. So it's potentially a tricky little away game, and bang, 4-0. And I mean, I know they took their foot off the pedal quite a lot, City, in the second half, but in that first half, devastating. Absolutely devastating. What's your thoughts on the game? And I'm particularly keen on your thoughts on Leroy Sané, right? We sit here a couple of weeks ago and we talked about, Mendy's out with a knee injury. So what did we see last year? Well, we saw Sané then profiting. So why did we not all think, Mendy's had a knee op, bundle onto Sané straight away? Why did we not do that?
I think people have thought that. I've thought that. You've thought that. We both talked about doing the Sané transfer this week. But the problem was we both had injured defenders. So if you've got to deal with your injured defender, and you had to deal with Mendy, I had to deal with Trippier, you're not going to, unless you've got 2 free transfers in the bank, are you going to risk a -4? I mean, I did not. Look, I thought Man City would win that game, but I didn't see it being 4-0. I just thought they'd go to West Ham, they'd win it by probably 1, maybe 2.
City don't do 1-0s though. They just
they
smash teams every week.
I know, but in my mind, I was kind of thinking, and even if I do get on so my issue with City is this: Sané, Aguero, Sterling, David Silva. You never really know, Mahrez, you never really know who the points are going to. So they share them quite nicely. And often people don't get, you don't get the same, they might get a goal and an assist, but they all share the points. So for me to get on Sané, as well as doing my Trippier, I've got to take a 4-point hit. It's a risk, isn't it? Or for me to get on Sterling, it's a risk because you're
even when they come off the bench, though, they get goals. I mean, I think.
But you're taking a minus to get them. And that's where my risk was, is that, I could take a -4, but if he only gets 1 goal, it's pointless.
Yeah,
and the player I'm getting out to get them, I'm talking about getting rid of Hazard ahead of Fulham. So it's difficult. It's really difficult. You can't have everybody.
I just feel like they're a bit like Liverpool of last year. I mean, we've seen Liverpool this year, beat teams, but not go crazy. I mean, 3-0 against Watford's the craziest we've gone in a long time. But City are just relentless.
But the other thing is,
they could have easily they took their foot off the pedal second half, right? They could have gone for 5, 6, 7 in that game easily. But they reined it in because they've got a big Champions League game going on.
But don't you struggle with picking who?
Well, I just think you go with one. I'm pretty happy to have Aguero. I think they've got Bournemouth at home next. I'm not going to sell ahead of that. Despite the blank, I mean, to get 4-0 win with no Aguero input was obviously disappointing. But with Bournemouth at home next and his record at home, I'm obviously not going to sell. I struggle to have Sterling and Aguero just from a money perspective, but I really like the look of Sané and David Silva now. What's that? 5 goals? 5 goals in 5 games for David Silva.
About.
I mean, with KDB and Bernardo Silva out, you've got to feel like he's nailed on in that team. So yeah, I mean, what I'm sitting here every week and I'm thinking, why am I not doubling up on City again? Why am I doing it? It's ridiculous.
Because you can't have everybody.
I know, but I just feel like I should. It just feels like I'm to say it every week on it. I say double up on City, and then I never do it. I just don't know what's going on.
At least you've got Aguero. I've just got Edison.
Yeah, well, I've got Laporte as well. I mean, that worked out okay for me. Although, to be fair, my decision on the Mendy transfer was either Laporte or Digne. I think Digne got a bonus point or two, didn't he?
Yeah,
so
typical.
We'll come to him in a second. Thoughts on West Ham? I mean, I don't want to spend too much time on West Ham because it's Man City. You've got battered. You're in the same boat as everybody else getting battered by City. Now they go into a period of fixtures which is very, very good until the new year. So if you've got a West Ham asset, don't panic. Don't panic and get rid of Arnautovic.
You didn't get Arnautovic, Felipe Anderson and co
for
a game against Man City.
No, you didn't.
You got them for the games coming up.
The only one you've got to think about is potentially Arnautovic, because what happened at the end there, again, he soldiered on towards the end, even though they run out of subs, limped off a bit. So that would be really, frankly, flipping annoying if he's injured, because I bought him for this run of fixtures starting game week 14. So if he's got injured in that City game and misses a game or two, that is going to be really, really annoying. But I think as a Felipe Anderson owner, you're happy to have him right now. You just stick. The fixtures are great. You bought him in for game week 14, so just crack on. Just crack on.
That's how I feel about West Ham.
Okay, all right, very good. So we touched there on Digne and his mates at Everton. Now 1-0 to Everton against Cardiff at the weekend didn't strike me as a very good result for Everton, but I watched the highlights and actually Everton were pretty resolute. This is a new way of playing for Silva's sides, right? There's no doubt that Silva's sides are happy, and we saw it when he was at Watford. Are happy to bomb forward, get the fullbacks forward, attack. But I'm wondering whether we're starting to see a different side of Everton now. That's back-to-back clean sheets against Chelsea and Cardiff. Are we seeing a different sort of Everton now? And are there defenders therefore worth an investment?
Well, I really, and those of you that follow me on Instagram will know that I spent a lot of time this week backwards and forwards, and even on the FPL show you'd probably got an idea about this. I backed and forwards between Michael Keane, Dean, and then also Duncan Duffy. And I couldn't make a decision about what to do.
Who did you go for in the end?
I went with Duffy in the end.
Duffy,
And the reason I did it was because Everton's fixtures are a little bit more hit and miss. So obviously next week is the derby with Liverpool. I don't know why I said that with a slight twang to my voice. So I sort of went up to Liverpool.
Yeah, why not?
Whereas Brighton's fixtures are a lot kinder over the next few weeks. So I kind of thought, right, I know that I'm taking a bit of a risk in this week because we're playing Leicester, who I thought had more chance of scoring than Cardiff. So the Digne clean sheet was a little bit irritating. I was sat in Wembley going, Cardiff, please score a goal. But yeah, it is what it is. I think...
Actually, no bonus... Sorry to interrupt you, but no bonus points for Digne. I did think that he got one, but looks like he missed out by 1 point. And actually, Keane, who I thought had missed out on the bonus points, up into 2. So I don't know, there probably was a last minute change there based on some, last minute block or something. So Keane in with 2 bonus points. So a nice pick. I
went back and forward with Keane and Dean, and then Duncan Duffy, and then somebody said to me, an Everton fan, I don't think Keane is absolutely nailed. I think they're a risk of rotation with him. So fine. But Digne, I think there is, and a lot of people did get on him this week. I'm not sure he'll keep a clean sheet next week, but good on you for getting in for this Cardiff game for sure.
No, it's a good effort, and I'm very much keeping an eye on them. It's a shame about the Richarlison pick. I mean, I picked Richarlison captain this week, a little bit against the stats, a little bit against the form. It wasn't like he was creating loads of chances.
The third highest.
Yeah, so he was quite a popular pick. He was quite a popular pick. I think on FF Scout, on Fantasy Football Scout, I think he was top of the captain poll. So there was definitely plenty of people going for him.
Yeah, I think it was Aguero, Salah, and Richarlison.
Yeah, that sort of makes sense. And I think I said on the FPL show that if you're gonna go for a differential captain, then game week 13's not a bad time to have a punt, because Aguero away is tricky. Despite them winning 4-0, didn't get anything.
Spurs and Chelsea.
Spurs are playing Chelsea. Salah's got to go away to Watford, which on paper is a bit tricky. So I stand by my Richarlison pick. I think it was worth a punt. It's the second captain blank I've had in a row now, with Mane the previous week and now with Richarlison. So I think I'm going to be going back to basics next week with Aguero at home to Bournemouth. That feels like the sensible move to do, although Hazard's got Fulham as well, which we need to consider. So anything else to say about Everton? Sigurdsson coming back onto the radar now. His underlying stats actually did look pretty good going into that game in terms of creativity, but it's actually popped up with the goal. So he's got to be on your radar as well, right?
Yeah, I think Somebody asked me on Instagram, what would I do? They've got Sigurdsson and Richarlison. They only want to keep one moving forward because obviously they've got some mixed fixtures. Which one should they keep? And for me, I'd have Sigurdsson over Richarlison. And I know that I'm in the minority with that because most people have gone Richarlison.
A bit more expensive though, mind you.
And Sigurdsson is more expensive. But for me, Sigurdsson is a little bit more consistent of late. He's got that pedigree and he seems to, is on more set pieces and that kind of thing. So, although he is sharing them this season that he wasn't last. But yeah, for me, Siggy just feels like a safer pair of hands than Richarlison. Richarlison, he either does loads or nothing. That's how it feels a bit at the moment.
All right, very good. So let's move on from Everton then. Let's talk about the goings-on at Craven Cottage then. So a real blood and thunder battle between Fulham and Southampton. A real bargain basement 6-pointer for sure. And I think, fair play to Claudio Ranieri. He's got the points he needed. They desperately needed that win because they've got a very tricky game at Stamford Bridge, I think, next. But goodness me, they made hard work of it, didn't they? I mean, they really did. I actually like the way that they attacked. There was one of the goals in particular. I think it was maybe the Schürrle goal where Sessegnon picked it up on one side and sort of crossed it all the way across the box. The movement leading up to that goal was very good. But I don't think any of us are shocked to be sitting here going, well, Fulham actually attacked nicely, right? We've seen that in the past. But what they are really bad at, and even on the basis of that Southampton game, still really bad, is that, they just concede a lot of silly goals. And I foresee that, I don't foresee that changing unless Ranieri can really make a difference there at the back. So, any thoughts on Fulham 3, Southampton 2?
I think it's really tough with Fulham. I think Fulham are... You always see when teams get a new manager, don't you? There is this element of kind of... They get up for it because it's a new man in charge and they want to prove themselves. And I think we certainly saw that from Fulham this game week. Like, they were up for it. They were fighting.
Mitro in particular, Mitrovic's attitude looked a lot better. And if you saw him in the post-match interview... There was a bit more of a smile about him, a bit more of a enthusiasm. I wonder whether he felt that the writing was on the wall for Jokanovic a little bit, and maybe he went off the boil because of that. I don't know, guys, but
maybe.
he started like a house on fire at the beginning of the season, went really off the boil, and is now back on it with 2 goals. However, it's against that Southampton defence. Should we be getting excited again about Mitrovic?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've still got Tom Kearney. I've had him since game week. Well, since before the start of the season.
I personally think he made a big difference, by the way, to Fulham.
I do too, and I'm still not certain that he's a great FPL asset, but he is cheap.
That's true.
He is cheap, and as my 5th, it doesn't matter that he's cheap. He mostly sits on my bench anyway. But he does play because he's their captain. If he's fit, he plays. But he makes a difference to the team, and Fulham play better with him.
Okay. Well, Danny McDonald is saying Fulham's run from game week 17 looks absolutely unreal. So I think Steve Wynyard backs up that point by saying, well, Mitro's a wait and see. The fixtures aren't great, but then from 17, I think they look pretty good. So it's wait and see what happens in the next couple of weeks.
And I think for me, Sessegnon looked really good in that game, watching the highlights.
He did.
So he's one I'm pondering on moving forward.
And again, that pace, we saw that in Ranieri's 4-4-2 in the Leicester Championship season, right? Yeah. And we said this during the week. If Ranieri can get the best out of Sessegnon down that side, he's going to be back on everyone's radar, I think, as the player that we thought he might be at the beginning of the season. He's got pace to burn. He definitely hasn't done the business so far this season, but got a bonus point at the weekend, got 2 assists, 29 BPS, so going to be back in everyone's thoughts, I think, pretty soon.
I also think that having now seen where Ranieri's played him, that gets rid of that fear that we had that he might play him more defensively minded.
Sure.
So that's a positive from an FPL point of view.
Okay, very good. And I don't think we want to say too much about Southampton. Bless them right now. They're in a sorry state of affairs.
Just don't.
Mark Hughes looks a bit of a dead man walking. There's a lot of call from the fans for him to go. There was a lot of pre-season positivity about Armstrong, actually. But everybody, he didn't really do anything up to this game. So I'm not saying jump on him. But just keep an eye on him because there was a lot of talk about him pre-season in terms of him making an impact in the Premier League. So if he gets a little bit of momentum, then maybe. But for now, best avoided, I think, Southampton. Best avoided. Where do you want to go next? Should we talk about Liverpool versus Watford and go to Vicarage Road? Good away win for the Reds. Just around the corner from here in Watford. Sensational free kick from Trent Alexander-Arnold. Absolutely sensational. A nice goal for your captain as well, Salah. Captained by a lot of people as well. Safe captaincy choice, absolutely. But in particular, give me a view on Firmino's impact on that game. 3 bonus points, a goal and an assist. Is he back on your radar? He's a bit of a favourite of yours, isn't he, Firmino?
I think I said a few weeks ago when somebody asked about Firmino just wait. Come the Christmas period, Firmino is always good. Just wait. And lo and behold, we get to the end of November and Firmino, goal and an assist. It's always the same. This time of year, I don't know what it is about him at Christmas, but this time of year, he always just suddenly picks up a gear. I think Liverpool they haven't been as fluid going forward as they were last season, but much like Spurs in this game week, I wonder whether you just needed a result like that to just bring back that kind of flowing football, perhaps.
Hell of a game in the week away at Paris on Tuesday or Wednesday.
But you couldn't have asked for a better start going into that game, in the same way that we couldn't against Inter on Wednesday night. Firmino is 100% on my radar.
Although FPL Dubs is saying that Firmino is so inconsistent, he's just annoying.
But
so how can you back him?
It's normally, like I say, it's this sort of time of year. If you look at his stats over Christmas for the last couple of years, he always picks up a gear at this point.
Interesting. All right.
So just watch him. I'm not saying get on him, just watch him.
Okay, and give me your very quick thoughts, because we could do a whole hours long live stream about the Mane versus Salah thing. But again, another game week goes by where Mane outscores Salah, right? I think only just 9 points to 8, but 2 assists for Mane, just a single goal for Salah, no bonus points for either of them. Are you considering now a downgrade to free up some money to do some other things like Ali and Ericsson and some Man City players? Or what's your thoughts on that whole Mane-Salah conundrum? And keep it quick, because I appreciate we could talk about that for a long time.
No. I'm still firmly in the Salah camp.
Sure, okay. I must admit, I still feel like, particularly after last game week in 12, getting burnt by Mane captain, I still feel reluctant to captain Mane, whereas if I had Salah, I feel like I could just easily give him the armband and I'd be kind of happy doing that.
Yeah.
Which sounds bonkers, doesn't it? Because Mane, can easily outscore him, as we've seen this game week. So if I had Salah in my team this game week, would I have considered captaining him? Yeah, for sure. So why am I not considering captaining Mane? It just seems odd. But I foresee over the next few weeks, I foresee a lot of people moving away from Salah unless he can start getting 2 goals, bonus points and getting up into the 15-16 range. It seems madness to say it, right? And a lot of you guys will disagree with me because he's got, I think, 8-8, 2, 15-8 or something in the last 5 game weeks. So it's not as if he's struggling for returns. He's getting goal after goal after goal. But is there more value in Mane? Can you use that 3 million somewhere better? I personally think you can, and you obviously think that Salah's the one to stick with.
Yeah, I just feel more comfortable with Salah.
Okay.
I don't feel like Mane has got the staying power to maintain it for a whole season. I don't.
Okay, Lachlan is agreeing with you. I still think it's Salah or nothing. Mane is too inconsistent for 9.9, and I think that is a really good point from Lachlan, because Mane is he's hit or miss, isn't he? He'll either score a couple of goals or blank completely, whereas at least Salah ticks over the points. He's going to get a goal every week, right? It's a nice point from Lachlan.
If I was going to get rid of Salah, it would not be for Mane.
Yeah, okay, it's interesting.
I'd move off of Liverpool.
That's interesting. Mel Brooks is saying the same. It's the same. It's the comfort of having Salah there. It's that excess premium to pay. 3.1 million to have some comfort, Mel. But I think I'm with you. It's one of those things you just feel more comfortable. Give him the armband. MU Fan TV, thank you for joining MU Fan. He's saying it's too stressful going without Salah. He's tried it. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it, he says. You've got to go with Salah. And Jeff is saying Salah and Fraser out for Sterling and Son this week.
Ooh,
nice.
Bolshy, Jeff.
Liking that, Jeff. Liking that. So we've talked a little bit about Salah and Mane and saving some money there. Talk to me about Robertson and Trent then. No. Is there an opportunity to save some money there as well?
Well, there is. Of course there is.
Think how much money you could save by having Mane and Trent over... You've got Robbo and Salah right now. You could save 4.5 million.
I know I could, but like I say, I don't want Mane. I don't trust him.
Okay.
So I'd be swapping to somebody else. Robbo and Trent is a little bit more difficult. For me, I'm in the camp that Robbo... Look... He kept a clean sheet, which is more than anyone else in my blimmin' backline did this week.
Edison did all right, didn't he?
Well, yeah, Edison, but he was going to... Although someone told me I was doing the wrong thing by playing Ryan, not playing Ryan, so I was
Edison,
glad
always.
that I played
always
Edison.
Edison.
Yeah, so I think, for me, Robertson and Trent, they're going to do this, aren't they? One of them's going to score one week, one of them's going to get an assist the next week. That's how it's going to be. You can't swap around between Liverpool defenders.
If Trent is going to hit free kicks like that every week, though, if he's going to be on direct free kicks, which it looks like he could be...
But is he going to play every week?
Well, I still...
Because you said on Thursday night that he was more of a rotation risk.
Well, I still think that Klopp likes to protect him, right? I still think there is a threat of that, for sure.
Yeah.
But if he continues to put in the performances he's putting in, he's very hard to leave out, Trent. And to be honest, 5.1. Is there a case, guys? Tell us in the live chat what you think. Is there a case for going for both? Go with Robbo and Trent. I mean, if you've got a decent enough bench, and Robbo's going to be playing, right? If Trent, for some reason, gets rotated, and you've got somebody like, I don't know, a Jimenez or an Ings or something to come in, you're all right, aren't you?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, well, 5.1, I think Trent represents absolutely outstanding value. And for the purposes of Joe, who is here tonight, Joe is in. Any word on Watford? Should they have had a penalty in that first half?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they probably possibly should have. No,
Yeah.
well, actually, no, possibly about it. I think Robertson does leave a leg in on Pereira, so potentially could consider themselves a little bit unlucky. Let's have a quick look at the Watford fixtures to see whether we should be investing. The success run is over. The success thing was never a thing, was it? Leicester away, Watford. So Watford have got Leicester away, Man City at home, Everton away, Cardiff at home, West Ham away. So there's not fixtures there that are screaming I must get on somebody from Watford over Christmas. Some difficult away ties, as well as a visit from City to Vicarage Road. So only that Cardiff at home game standing out. So I think for right now, I might just be putting Watford to one side. Sorry, Joe. I'll be putting them to one side. Let's finish up these games quickly then. Where have we not been? United versus Palace. A quick word on them. What is going on again? Every week we talk about it. Looked like a nailed on home win. Everybody's piled onto Martial because he's got 5 in 5. We were expecting some regression.
Don't trust Mourinho. I've said this so many times. Don't trust him.
And Aaron Wan-Bissaka with 6 on the bench.
Third on my bench.
Yeah, well, I think he's third on everyone's bench, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. I, for one, am looking forward to having Wan-Bissaka back in my team. Burnley at home, Brighton away, West Ham away, Leicester at home before a trip to the Etihad. So between 14 and 17, if you want to win the FPL Family Christmas present trip to Wembley, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I think, has got to be in your team, hasn't he? Got to be.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka is the way to get to Wembley. Is that what you're saying?
Aaron Wan-Bissaka, AWB for the Fantasy Premier League, for the FPL Family Christmas present. He's the one to have, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I mean, the kid gets bonus points just for turning up. Did a job on United at the weekend. I haven't got much else to say about this game other than I'm sticking with Martial. I bought him in because I expected a bit of regression. We've had the regression. Now I want to see him go on and perform, and they've got some nice fixtures to be able to go and do that. Palace, happy to have Wan-Bissaka back. Hennessy with the 3 bonus points, 5 saves, must have got something like 10 or 11 points. So if you stuck with Hennessy, and for whatever reason you played him this game week, fair play. But yeah, defence is on top, as you can see from the BPS system in that game. Yeah. Anything else to say there?
Don't trust Mourinho.
Lukaku looks off it, doesn't he?
Just don't trust Mourinho. And then he comes out and just has a go at the players. Just take some responsibility, Mourinho. Take some responsibility and do the Man United fans a favour and just,
yeah,
buy yourself a plane ticket.
Aaron Chen is saying, AWB, let's go. Anne O'Brien, AWB, to get you to Wembley. Jamal Rice, AWB, made Marshall look like a kid. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Josh telling 4-4-2 this week. Welcome back to the starting 11. Wan-Bissaka, yeah.
Josh absolutely really wants Wembley tickets if he's welcoming him back.
MU Fan TV. United should have lost yesterday. Palace were a better team. It's very honest there from MU Fan TV. Thank you, Sam. He says, Jose out. Will Hugel. Woodward out. Oh my goodness, the United fans are out in force today.
I don't blame them.
We better move on.
I don't blame them.
Let's talk about today's action then. A couple of quick words on Bournemouth versus Arsenal. Good result for Arsenal, right? Very difficult game going to Bournemouth, and they played pretty well, I thought, Arsenal, actually.
Well, I only saw the first half because I had to go to the party, but yeah, so I can't really comment too much other than Arsenal looked quite good in the first half.
They played pretty well, yeah. I mean, Bournemouth, attacked with a bit of verve. I mean, the own goal, is it Lerma? I think the guy who scored the own goal, unlucky, to be honest. I mean, he's not going to ever finish a goal at the right end like that. It was a hell of a...
Great goal.
Great goal from Lerma. It was a hell of a finish. Nice assist for Brooks on King's goal. And actually, King, great finish, because you get so many strikers that get into those positions and just balloon it, right? But he, with a really cultured inside of his foot, swung it in the top corner.
And
so
if he's still got him, because he's been injured, if he's still got him, it'd have been a massive differential for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, again, I'm not, I'm on Fraser. I'm not too worried about owning Fraser.
No.
The only thing that might make me get rid of him is maybe a sideways move to Brooks, because again, Brooks showing his value at 5-1, 5-2, or however much he is, with another assist, and again looked pretty good in the game.
Yeah,
passed the eye test again, David Brooks. So if you're not on a Bournemouth asset right now, and you're thinking about getting one in, Brooks has got to be the one. Although what I will say is their fixtures look pretty tough. City away, so you're not going to get anybody in for next game week. But then Huddersfield at home, Liverpool, Wolves, and Brighton. So it's starts to clear up, I think, as we get towards Christmas. But City and Liverpool, 2 of the next 3, necessarily be saying I'll be getting on any Bournemouth assets right now. Arsenal, for their part, again, look pretty good. Aubameyang took his goal well. I don't really have too much else to say about them. 18 wins on the bounce now. I mean, tell us what you think, guys.
It'll end.
Tell us what you think in the live chat. Should we be getting on Aubameyang? Should we be getting on these people already? Lacazette benched today. I don't know whether he came on and missed the end of the game. But it's Spurs next for Arsenal, so that's the acid test, isn't it? I don't think you'd bring in any Arsenal because they've got that Spurs game next, but let's see. Rishil Joshi is saying, if Arsenal continue playing 3-4-3, then should we consider Kolasinac and Bellerin? I mean, Kolasinac got the 2 assists today, but actually Bellerin looked very, very attacking on that other side.
Bellerin before, and I don't know where my notes are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before about Bellerin, but he is looking, attacking wise, he's looking good.
Listen, Kolasinac was a big favourite around these parts and in the FPL Twitter community last year, so absolutely he's one to watch. Absolutely one to watch. And then the unexpected result at Molineux, where Huddersfield rocked up and got 2 goals and 3 points at Wolves. Again, what the hell happened? I mean, I'm fully expecting, Doherty to bag me a clean sheet. I thought there'd be some attacking potential as well, but that's now 5 games without a clean sheet for Wolves. So if you're doubled up,
you shouldn't be anymore.
I don't think you should be anymore, and there's some people that are even trebled up on Wolves. So I think you need probably to start reining that in a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I've got Bennett. He's cheap as chips. I'm not going to get off of him.
I think you're fine to have him, right?
And I've got Jimenez, who I was really disappointed in this game week because I spent a lot of time last week seriously pondering on captaining him because of that game. And because, like I said in the week, 12 goals they've scored this season. Jimenez has been involved in 8 of them. He makes a big difference to the way Wolves play and the way they tick. So I'm happy to have him. It's just really annoying when they play a team like Huddersfield at home and don't bring you any returns. It's frustrating as a
nice
Jimenez
point
owner.
from Micah. He's saying Huddersfield have kept 4 in 4 clean sheets against Wolves. So that's nice. Maybe they just kind of went into that game thinking, we know how to do this. We can keep a clean sheet here.
Interesting.
Jamal is saying triple Wolves, lol, jokers. Yeah, and Alex Summerson, Wolves were terrible. Yeah, not very good. Not very good today.
Don't you think a lot of this triple Wolves stuff is about financing the rest of your team though? Because they're so cheap.
Still triple? Well, triple Wolves defence? I mean, double. I can understand that if you want Bennett and Doherty, but Patricio as well. I mean, and Vinyl Richie is saying, Patricio is gone. Done it already. Welcome, Hugo Lloris, he says.
Oh, wow.
Patricio gone for Lloris. Nice.
Well, you've not kept a clean sheet for a while.
And Will Hugo, nice point from Will. Long overdue for Huddersfield, underestimated by everyone. That is a nice point. If you look at some of the stats, Huddersfield have improved. Not massively, but they have improved over the last few weeks. So maybe we shouldn't be as surprised as we are with that result. But nevertheless, I'm not looking to ship out Doherty. He has been a superhero for me in recent weeks, so I think I'll be sticking. Let's have a look at the Wolves fixtures. They're pretty tough, but it's Cardiff next, Chelsea, Newcastle, Bournemouth and Liverpool, so definitely towards the more difficult end of the ticker. But I think Cardiff, Newcastle, Bournemouth, that's enough for me to stick with Doherty, and I assume you're going to stick with Bennett, right?
Oh, yeah. Certainly not before Cardiff.
Yeah, and your thoughts on Jimenez today? Bit unlucky with that one that sort of trickled towards the line and Hawkeye kind of, the goal decision system ruled it out, didn't it? But thoughts on him? You keeping him for that run there? Your third striker?
Well, he's so cheap.
He's got to stay, hasn't he, really?
And so I'm like, he's been taking me over the points really nicely over the last few game weeks. Assists here, goals there. So, I'm happy to have Jimenez. He's,
okay.
That's one sort of money. You're never expecting someone to get a hat-trick every week, are you?
No,
so it's fine.
Okay. And of course, we've got the Burnley and Newcastle game to go tomorrow, guys. So good luck if you've got Goodmanson. Good luck to those of you that have got Joe Hart, Rondon, Yedlin, those sorts of players. So look out for some analysis at FPL Family on Twitter and Instagram around that game. That is the game week that was. So let's have a look at our points. Terrible game week for me. I think I'm just about 40. Yeah, 40, which is, I need to zoom out of this a little bit. So get on the live chat, guys. Tell us what score you got for this game week, if you want to. If you want to. Yeah, not great, guys, to be honest. Not great. 40. I think the overall ranks are updated. The game week rank, 4.1 million. I think it's probably my worst this season. Trying to think if I've had a worse one. I don't think I have. Overall rank down to 53. I was up at about 39 last game week. So I'm actually... don't feel that bad. I mean, that's about 10, 12k fall. I thought it was going to be a lot worse, but I'm not feeling too awful about that. So 53, I think, is fine. Sometimes you have game weeks like this where just nothing goes your way. You get the captain wrong, and you just go again, right? So I think I'm just going to brush it under the carpet and go again. 40, very, very poor game week indeed. Let's have a look at how you got on.
Not much better.
I'm not even going to talk through my team. It was absolute rubbish, except for Mane. Let's have a look at you in here.
Not a lot better.
45. Yeah, so 45. So a game week rank of 3.1. That's interesting, isn't it? What was I? 4 point something. So like 5 points. There's a million places. So it's obviously quite tight around that middle by the looks of it. And then there was a few that had Sterling captain and a few that just had absolutely nothing.
I think average was 47. So
yeah.
We're right in the middle of the pack.
Because Sterling still isn't that highly owned, right? He's at sort of like 11% or something. So overall rank 75k. So is that a green or a red arrow?
No, it's red.
A little bit of a red.
It's only by about 6 or 7.
It's a small one, isn't it?
So it's only a small red.
It's a small one. Want to talk us through your team?
Not really. Kane, brilliant. Salah, fab, thanks. Robertson, good. Edison, good. Rest of you, on your bikes.
On your bikes, absolute rubbish. Yeah.
Wan-Bissaka, you can come back.
I must admit, I was looking forward to sort of Super Sunday and thinking, right, well, I've got Fraser and Doherty. I'll get something out of those two. Great, 2 and 1.
Well, yeah, I was looking at Bennett and Fraser and Jimenez, thinking, come on, you can at least get me, 6, 6, and 6.
Yeah, Bennett, Fraser, and Jimenez. You think
1. What did they get? 1, 2, and 1 or something?
1, 2, and 2. Brilliant. Absolutely shocking.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely shocking.
Really worth your money you were this week.
Thanks for coming.
They're getting their wages docked.
So, guys, it's been a pretty bad week for the FPL family.
Let's make ourselves feel better and look at the wooden spoon.
Just about edged it. Let's have a look at the live stream regulars league if we've got to. Sorry, guys. Let's have a look. Oh, Ryan Foley, look at this. Jumped over Richard Nyquist at the top of the league there with 74 points.
Where is he in the world?
Absolutely sensational. Overall rank 29. Very, very good indeed, Ryan. Very, very good indeed. Blue Brazil. So Trent Alexander-Arnold, Salah captain, Sterling, of course, to be up into the 70s. You need Sterling.
You had to.
So very good. Edison as well, and Robertson with backing him up there. So very, very good, Ryan. 74. Now top of the live stream regulars league. Superb stuff, mate. Superb stuff. Let's have a look. I'll be surprised if we've got any up into that sort of bracket. Ian Wilson, very good. At FantasianPL on Twitter, 76. Very, very good week for Ian. Very, very good. Trent again. Sterling captain. Vardy. Look at that. Vardy.
Jammy penalty.
Very good. Yeah, it ruined my Brighton clean sheet.
Yeah, and mine.
Absolute mess.
On your bite Vardy.
Rat face.
I don't like him.
Dom J, 67. Very good, Dom. Very, very good. FPL Ads, 79. That is a great score, by the way. That is a great score for this game week. 79, 61,
the other Josh,
67.
No wooden spoon for me, I hope.
No,
you've already had enough, Josh.
I think you'll be all right, Josh. He's got a whole new kitchen out of us. Let's have a look. What have we got? 61 for Abraham. Pretty good score. Pretty good score. What else have we got? We're getting towards the back end of the league now, so not some good scores. So let's have a quick scooch up for the wooden spoon. There's a 33.
Is that
33.
Josh?
I don't think it is a 30 there. Josh telling.
Josh, you are.
Goodness me. That's 30 for Josh. Can anybody beat 30? Let's have a look.
Although I will be quite pleased to send Josh a wooden spoon.
Would you? Yeah. So what's he got? 30. So we've got to try and beat 30. Let's have a look at this. It's not looking good, Josh. I'm going to put it out there. It's not looking good.
He will be here as well. He'll be here for sure.
32. Peter Gray running you close. 28.
Oh, anyone to play?
Ash, 28. Goodness me.
Anyone to play?
That is a score, by the way. Maddison -2. We didn't even talk about Maddison. Did we just miss the Leicester game? I think we missed the Leicester game, probably for the best.
Well, Maddison trolling everyone again. Keep him in all this time.
Absolutely shocking from Maddison.
Gets himself sent off. Although he doesn't miss a Premier League game, does he? He misses a cup game.
Oh, yeah. So, Andy Nash, I think you are the winner. And I speak to Andy fairly regularly on Twitter. So, Andy, we know where you are. You know where we are. Get your address over to me via DM on Twitter and we'll send you a wooden spoon. Josh, you have survived by the skin of your teeth. By the skin of your teeth. Thanks to Andy there. Let's bring up his team again. Where was he? 28. Chupo's mistakes, which I quite like. Andy Nash, 28. Goodness me. The recipient of this game week's wooden spoon. And to be honest, could have gone to a lot of people, couldn't it? Could have gone to a lot of people. No doubt about it.
I thought it might go to you at one point.
Well, it was looking that way. It was pretty bad.
It was when I was sitting at Wembley and Lee was just texting me. And I almost Instagrammed our conversation because it was just hilarious. Because Lee was so annoyed.
Absolutely shocking. Josh is saying, missed out on the wooden spoon by 2 points. Maddison saved me a spoon. You're
Or
absolutely
he's
right.
trolled you again, Josh.
You're absolutely right. If Maddison had even just done nothing and not got sent off, you'd be getting a wooden spoon, Josh. But because of Maddison, Andy Nash, who is a Twitter regular, speak to Andy regularly on Twitter, come find me, Andy. We will get a wooden spoon out to you, sir. Absolutely fantastic. So there it is. That is the tale of the tape from a very, very difficult game week, guys. That was a hell of a game week. A hell of a game week. What we're going to do is put the Twitter back up there, at FPL Family on Twitter, while we review the polls. And then we're going to do a very quick, just reiterate the mini league code for those of you that missed it at the beginning of the stream for the FPL Family Christmas present league. We're going to bring that up on the screen again in a second. But before we do that, we're going to go to the polls. And let's find them on my phone here. All right, so Jeff's question was the best midfield template breaker, Sam. Ozil, Sané, Son, Ali or Sigurdsson?
Ooh, that's a real tough one because it's Sané or Ali for me. Let's go Sané.
Sané, very good. 54% agree with you. So it's pretty unequivocal there. 54% is Sané. Ali in at 16, Son at 15. So the Spurs boys in second and third, but back by some distance. And then Siggy at 9%, Ozil at 4. Spurs assets from game week 15 onwards, Sam, Kane, Ali, Ericsson or Son. Now, let's not say Kane, because I know you'd say Kane. Out of the other three, who would you go
It's
with?
100% Kane.
Out of the other three, who would you go for?
Ali.
Ali.
See?
You're right. Kane, 48%.
Know what your problem with Kane is.
Kane, 48%. Ali, 20%. Son, 19%. Ericsson at 11.
Got mentioned in the same tweet, didn't I, as Kane?
Oh, guys, that was
It's life
absolute
goals for me.
Sam's life goals when the Fantasy Premier official FPL Twitter handle tweeted FPL Family and Sam and Harry Kane in the same tweet. She was very excited.
Life made.
Very, very excited. Liverpool defence, Trent, Robertson, both or neither?
Robertson for me.
Robbo, okay, 58% agree with you, yeah. So 18% then going Trent. 16% say both and 6 say neither. So it's pretty out there that we need to have at least one of those guys. And the final question, which I forgot to mention at the beginning because I forgot, is it time to ditch Hazard, yes or no?
Not before Fulham.
Not before Fulham, I would suggest. It's closer than you'd think. 58% say no. 58%, but there's 41% that are saying yes, time to ditch Hazard because...
Well, unless he's injured, of course.
We are back into the standard Hazard practice, which is I'm essential, I'm essential, I'm essential, I'm a troll, I'm a troll, I'm a troll. He just goes from essential to absolute guff overnight, doesn't he? So that is standard Hazard behaviour. We should be used to it by now as FPL managers, frankly. We should have expected this to happen. So 58% saying no, keep Hazard. I would expect at least for Fulham, I'll be keeping him for the Fulham game. But yes, 41% say it's time to ditch him. Would you believe that? 41% of you. Very good, guys. All right, that's our Twitter page on the left-hand side, at FPL Family. Let's just quickly review the page for this. So this is, for those of you that are a bit late to the stream or couldn't make it at the beginning, this is our FPL Family Christmas present promotion where we are offering you guys, or the winner of the mini league, a stadium tour for 2 around Wembley. So if you are top of our Christmas present league between game weeks 14 and 18, so on Sunday the 23rd of December, we will be live streaming, we'll be reviewing game week 18 as we usually do, but we'll also be announcing the winner of this league. Now, you can enter this league as long as you've got an FPL team and you're a subscriber on FPL Family, so feel free to enter the league. However, you must be in the UK to qualify for the prize, okay? Because we're not paying for flights and all that sort of stuff, right? So if you're in the UK, the top UK manager in that league will win the prize. If you're top of the league and you're not from the UK, you will get a round of applause, a hell of a lot of kudos.
And a mention.
And a mention on the stream. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. But if you are the top UK manager, you can win the prize, the stadium tour for 2 around Wembley. There is the mini league code, 69849-1284803. If you can't copy and paste it from the screen, which you can't, go to the description in this video. It's there. Cut and paste it. Put it into join a new private league in FPL and get onto that league. We should have a look to see if anybody's in, shouldn't we?
Go on then.
Should we have a look? I don't know if it even does that, does it? Let's have a look. Back to here. Leagues.
I'm not.
You're not in it yet. Here's the FPL Family Christmas Present League. Oh, look at this. Superb.
Well,
So
there
we've
are
already
people
got
in it.
loads of you guys in. Look at
Wow.
this. Sensational stuff. This is exactly what I wanted. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So all you guys that are in already, thank you very much for
Amazing.
joining. Superb. So we've already got loads and loads of you in, ready for the FPL Family Christmas Present League. Like I said to you before at the beginning of the stream, I will not be putting this code on Twitter. Guys, don't put the code on Twitter. It just reduces your chances of winning, right? So get onto YouTube, subscribe to the channel. You must be subscribed to the channel to have a chance of winning. And enter that mini league code, join the league. And if you are top of that league, if you are the top UK manager on Sunday, the 23rd of December, when we do our last live stream before Christmas, you will win the Stadium Tour for 2 around Wembley Stadium, which is really, really good fun. So, guys, that is it for tonight. So, thank you very much for joining. It's been good fun tonight. Good fun. It was a very, very tough game week. So, thank you for you guys for joining. Normally, if it's a tough game week, we get about 5 people. And it's just like, it's a nightmare, isn't it? It's a nightmare. So, guys, thank you for joining. Thank you for coming and giving me a collective group hug. I think you needed a bit of a hug as well, didn't you? I mean, 45 is hugging territory.
Excuse me.
But, what?
My boy performed. I never need a hug.
You're happy. You were happy enough, despite...
Life is brilliant at the moment. I got mentioned in the same tweet as Harry Kane. I actually couldn't care what's gone on this week. That has made my life.
You were so happy with the goings on at Wembley that it didn't matter.
So happy with what happened yesterday.
Football
I actually
first.
don't care.
Doesn't matter about FPL. Here we go. This is an FPL live stream, and you don't care about FPL. Here we go. Brilliant. That's what they all tuned into here, isn't it?
I don't need a hug, is what I mean. Like, I'm fine with my FPL score because football life
is good.
It's good.
And actually, Liverpool winning away at Watford. Sorry, Joe. I'm very happy about that. Very happy about that. It's a great result. So in terms of our teams, very good. Not a lot to whinge about at all. Nothing. But FPL-wise, a lot to whinge about. A lot to whinge about. And a lot to think about ahead of next game week.
Yeah.
A lot to do with
Wolves.
What to do about Wolves. So guys, we will be back with our usual Game Week 14 preview video on... I'm going to say Thursday. My schedule at work gets absolutely insane around December, guys. Absolutely insane. So
it's definitely not going to be Wednesday because it's Champions League night.
It won't be Wednesday. It'll be Thursday, 8 p.m. That's when we're planning to do it, assuming nothing comes from left field with work or with the kids or something like that. But we will plan to be back with you Thursday, 8 p.m, looking ahead to Game Week 14 when we will be kicking off the league. The Christmas Present League will be starting. So thank you to you guys that are already in there. That's absolutely awesome. Last chance to grab the code off the screen. If you miss it, go into the description. It's in there. Cut and paste. Start a new league. Get into the FPL Family Christmas Present League where you could get a chance to win a tour for 2 around Wembley. Very, very good indeed. So, guys, that is it. Thank you for joining. Well, I was going to say well done in Game Week. Well done if you had Sterling.
Either well done or commiserations.
Yeah, well done for those of you that had Sterling in Game Week 13. Thank you for coming and sort of sulking in my corner and giving me a bit of a collective group hug. I needed it. 40 points. My worst game week so far this season. Very, very bad.
And
very,
you never know. Thursday night. Let's see what Rondon does tomorrow.
Let's see what Rondon does tomorrow. If the Reds can pull off a monumental win in Paris, life will be good again. Life will be good again. On that note, guys, thank you for joining us. Leave us a like before you go. Subscribe if you want to be part of the FPL Family Christmas Present League. If you want a chance to win, you must subscribe. Hit that like button before you go. At FPL Family on Twitter. At FPL Family on Instagram, and we will see you next Thursday. Thank you for joining.
Take care, everyone. Have a good night.